What's up, guys? This is Joe from SFIF. So happy to be here and so happy to see you all here with me here today. So today I am bringing you my review experience with the little chunk from Rosecraft Blades. It's a tongue twister for me. I got to learn how to say that really well. Rosecraft Blades. So before I do that, guys, I wanted to take this time to sincerely thank Mr. Andy. Very recently, he had asked me to be a brand ambassador for Rosecraft Blades, and I am deeply honored. I feel privileged. Thank you so much for choosing my humble channel to help endorse or help spread the word about Rosecraft Blades and the amazing product that you guys are offering. To the whole design team, to Mr. Andy, management and owners, to the whole Rose family, I sincerely appreciate it, and I will do my best to show your knives in the best, honest way that I can show them to you, show you the details of the knife the way I like to do, try to give you the best assessment I can on the knives that I have in hand. And this first one that I'm reviewing, guys, is no exception. This is an amazing knife. It's a little chunk from Rosecraft Blades. It comes in a couple different colors. This is the red and black with the red liners. It also comes in an all aluminum scales as far as the handle, and also an all red out, completely redded out, if that even is a word, completely red handle. Now I'm gonna try something a little different this time, guys. First, I'm gonna take you right outside to kind of do some cutting and show you the performance of the knife. Then I'll meet you back here in my makeshift studio, and I will show you all the specs of the knife and then give you my final word as far as my experience with the little chunk thus far. All right, guys, I'm gonna attempt to make this a quick one because it's not Florida weather here and I do not have an outdoor cutting studio. Love you, Scabo. I am, well, somewhere. You don't want to know where I am, but I got a stump here. I'm gonna try to put this Rosecraft little chunk through its paces. Let's do some balance tests. Pretty damn good. Let's get an angle where you can see it. Wow, that really dug in deep. Yeah, that gets a nice deep bite. I was a little off balanced. Very good. Yeah, look at that bite, guys. Look at the bite that this thing is taking. This is kind of testing the locking mechanism to make sure it doesn't fail. And so far so good, and it's really digging in deep. Before I get too hard into the cutting, I just want to show you how the sharpness is out of the box. Definitely just razor sharp, guys. No effort whatsoever. Fantastic. That's how it is out of the box. They give you sharp knives out of the box, guys. This is right out of the box. I didn't hone this, I promise you. I didn't even strop it. This is out of the box, completely razor paper cutting sharp. So let's see how the edge holds up. Okay, so this is just a typical piece of Home Depot pressurized wood. Started off as like a 2x6, and it ended up into this. So I'm going to try to basically carve some of this wood. I'm going to try to basically take a couple different grips. I'm going to take the normal grip, but I'm also going to really kind of choke up the blade. I don't know what Scab calls this, an old man grip. Really choke up the blade to really try to get in there and try to see how much comfort I have in the hand, if there's any hot spots, and how it does with the cutting, and if there's any slippage or anything like that. So far, it feels pretty good in the hand. I don't feel too many hot spots. Well, actually, I don't feel any hot spots. That's my favorite thing about this knife, is the fact that it is so damn comfortable. And it's doing the edge is doing some really quick work of processing this wood. So, if you got this knife, and you got nothing else, and it's in your pocket, you need to kindle some wood, or you need to carve up some wood for a fire, maybe make a weapon, you know, make like a spear out of a piece of wood, which I'm trying to attempt to do. Again, I am not the big bushcrafter here, guys. I'm trying my best. A learning journey. So my goal was, I wanted to kind of make up a spear or a spike And this is the only knife I have. And there you go, guys. Got myself a spike. Very little effort. And again, pretty comfortable in the hand. And if you really wanted to get in deep and really make some holes and do some fine work, fine woodwork, you can definitely choke this up and really get in there. Okay, the point seems to be holding up. I don't see any bends or any breaks or anything like that. But you could really get in here, maybe do some fine work or make some holes. If you got to kind of maybe throw some rope through or something like that. Okay guys, I'm not trying to abuse the knife. I really just want to show you how the locking mechanism holds up, okay, with normal things you would normally do with your knives. Obviously you don't baton with a folded blade, but if that's what's in your pocket and you need to kind of baton and process some wood, then I want to show you how strong the lock is on this particular knife. You know, I don't need to basically go through the whole thing. Again, I was just kind of testing out the lock to see how good, and it took a really nice bite as far as batoning through this wood. And so this is pretty hard processed wood from Home Depot. So, but look at that. I mean, it took a really nice bite. Let's check the locking mechanism. No wiggle, no play. Does it still work? Comes in. Locks up. Yeah, I generally don't feel any play. Again, that's probably the most aggressive that you can get with this knife, kind of batoning with it. And not that I recommend you baton with a knife like this. If it could hold up to that and still have a good lockup system, and it can still open and close, engage, deploy, and lock up, then it's not too bad. But kind of did the job. It's kind of getting in there, but this is actually really tough copper wire. Bigger knife would probably handle a little bit better, but with a little bit of work and a little elbow grease, definitely does the job. The edge is still holding up pretty well. I don't see any chips, any bends or anything like that. It's got a nice thick stock also. It's definitely a little tank, a little pocket tank. It's not going to have a problem cutting through, and you still got a nice sharp edge on here that's still kind of holding up for you. So I really don't see any problem with having this in your pocket if you need to go camping with this thing, because it handles it pretty well. Okay, kind of shaving right through the leather. It's still sharp, guys. Still very, very sharp. It's still pretty much slicing sharp, even though I was kind of banging it into the wood. It's still kind of really cutting right through that leather. It's a great slicing knife, guys. I love that straight Warncliffe type of blade. It's such a great slicing geometric, and when it can hold up and process wood and do whatever else you need to do, you got yourself a pretty good knife. So you saw how sharp it is when I first tried it. Oh, edge retention is great, guys. It's still as razor sharp as it was when I first took it out of the box. So cut through the paper. Let's see how it cuts through cardboard to see how sharp this thing still is. Slicing, guys, slicing right through cardboard. This is all after doing semi-heavy cutting. It's kind of really slicing through cardboard. Absolutely no problem whatsoever. Very, very impressed. Very impressed. Now I got to clean this girl off and finish up my review. Here it is, guys. Little chunk from Rose Craft Blades. Now, on my board here, some shout outs. You have Knife Delights, Mr. Tom at Knife Delights, wealth of knowledge in the knife industry. You definitely want to check him out. You want to check out Karl, okay, excellent swordsman and a lover of katana. He's one of my favorite people on YouTube. Definitely check out Karl. He's got some great videos that you can definitely check out. And of course, we have my boy, my brother from another mother, Quiet Boys Cutlery Outdoors, the best reviewer, the best tester of knives on YouTube, bar none. So there's my shout outs here. And I have a couple more shout outs. If you check out my description, a couple great channels I definitely think you should check out in terms of swords and knives. Here is the Rosecraft Blades, little chunk. My favorite so far of the Rosecraft blades that I have in hand, and I do have a box of Rosecraft blades that I have yet to open and check out. I'm really looking forward to that. So what is my favorite about this? Well, you saw the cutting already. You know what the performance is like, but just to show you some details really quick. First of all, how it feels in my hand is absolutely amazing. It just really fits in my hand. The thickness of the stock of the blade, of the handle, really kind of just catches all the flubber of the hand, and really you can just kind of hug it and get a really good, firm and secure grip. But we're looking at probably a little over 0.6 inches in the handle. It's a really thick stock handle. G10 liners, G10 handle rather. Beautiful, beautiful red liners. That's my favorite aesthetic thing about this, the whole black and red. But these red liners, that like Rosecraft color red, really make a difference. It is actually a 3-inch blade. I did all the measurements myself, and they're pretty much spot on as far as the measurements they put on their website and what I did in terms of measurements. So it's about a 3-inch blade, a little bit less, very little less as far as the cutting angle, because you have a little bit of a sharpening choil there. It's a Warncliffe blade geometry, which I absolutely love. Great slicer, that is what this is. The blade thickness is at about 3.8 millimeters, which is at this highest point, it's a 3.8, but then you also notice that you have a really good swell here in the point, which again reinforces the point, which I said before. So you have 3.8 millimeters as its peak in terms of the stock, which is excellent for this knife. And then you have a little bit of a swell and comes into a really nice fine point on this really excellent Warncliffe blade. You see you have two different types of finishes. I don't know if you can see it here, but you'll see it in my pictures. You see it's kind of like a stone wash right here, and then it goes into like a satin finish here that brings up into the edge. Like I said, it's a really good, powerful liner lock system, which I was very impressed with how it held up to the batoning and all that. It's an open rear flipper, okay, which you can see here. Okay, you got to give a little bit of a flick of the wrist in order to open this up. It doesn't open up a little automatically like some of the other Rosecraft blades. I have no problem with the design and kind of just giving a little flick. I actually prefer that sometimes, just to have a little flick action. But you also have the thumb studs on each side. It's ambidextrous tip-up carry, and you can easily open it up, okay, with the thumb studs on each side. Pretty good detent, not as good detent as some of the other ones, but I think that this is, as it's being really brand new, it is going to wear in, and I think it's going to get better in time. Mr. Hawkins Rose is the designer, and he's really killing it with his designs. I really love his eye and for what he's kind of bringing to the table with Rosecraft blades, and this is definitely my favorite so far of his designs. So you have zeroed out at 0 ounces, and it comes in, let me try that actually again, try to get it flat, because I know it was spot on with their website. It's really fluctuating between 6 and 5.78. The website says 5.78, and it's kind of at 5.78. This, yeah, it's kind of going back and forth. So I would say they're pretty much spot on in terms of the weight, the measurements that they gave you on the website, even up until the weight. They're pretty much spot on as far as giving you the measurements on the website and pretty much what exactly I have in hand. So that's always welcome, guys. It's just a really pretty pretty looking knife. The red liners, everything just really comes out and just screams out quality. Really feels great in the hand. It's just a really well done knife. If I'm enthusiastic, guys, because it's been a long time since I got really excited on a knife that really just kind of fits me, fits my needs, fits my hand, and just aesthetically with the color scheme and how everything is kind of put together, how this knife really just checks all the boxes for me. So there is your little chunk from Rose Craft Blades, designed from Hawkins Rose. So as you can see, guys, this knife really did impress me. I was not expecting it to perform as good as it did. And what surprised me the most, and which, you know, I always question a new knife company, how's the edge retention, how are the steels, how is your grind? And it kind of answered my question, because this thing, after all the cutting I did, even off camera, prior to even doing those demonstration tests, it still stayed sharp. After all the cutting I did, I mean, look at that. This thing just does not want to die. I don't want to get water everywhere, but it's a very, very, very sharp knife, even after doing, you know, all that wood processing, batoning, doing things that really you should not be doing with a pocket knife. But again, it's just a great design from Hawkins Rose, comfort of the grip, and the performance of it so far just really sold me on it. And of course, all the aesthetics of this knife are great. I'm just telling you my experience. If you're looking for something to carry in your pocket, something sleek, if you love the look of this, if you like the worn cliff blade, if you want something that has good edge retention, if you want something that basically is going to handle your day-to-day tasks, but also have the toughness in a knife and the form function to basically handle a good, solid camping trip or something outdoors where you really need to process wood, and this is what's in your pocket, it can handle it, guys. It can handle it. It did a great job. The edge retention is still there. The solidity of the liner rod lock held up to some minor abuse. It's a great knife. Great feeling, great looking, and I highly recommend it to anyone. It definitely checked all the boxes for me, and I am so looking forward to all of Rosecraft knives representations, and to get into into the other designers' knives. So I'm looking forward to kind of showing you that on my channel. So until then, guys, thank you for your support. Much love and respect to each and every one of you, and I'll see you when I see you on the next sword or knife review. So, little chunk from Rosecraft Blades, definitely a hard hitter, and a small hard hitter, but definitely a hard hitter, attractive, great knife. See you when I see you guys. Ciao. Peace.